Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the J Rovato Show. And do we have a show for you today? We are live tonight for what many may think is the most, and I mean most revealing State of the Union addresses in recent history. I want to say this up front. This isn't just about what's going to be said tonight, it's about what's been happening and leading up to this moment. You've got a country divided right now. You've got media that's spinning the narratives left and right, up and down. And tonight, we're going to separate the facts from fiction live on the J Rovato Show. We're not just going to watch this speech. We're going to go in between the clips. And in between the clips, I need you guys to bear with me because we're going to be playing highlights from Scott Jennings. So if you're tired of the talking points and you want real analysts, then welcome to the J Rovato Show. Let's understand what's happening in the country. Drop where you're watching from. Hit the like button so we can push this stream out. Thank you for joining the J Rovato Show. Enjoy.
It's Bush League, but he's the president of the United States. You have to work with Republicans on the Hill. They're the ones in power. The midterms have not arrived yet. It doesn't arrive until November. You've got work to do. Are you sure it's wise when it comes to President Trump and the people who are on his side of the aisle, who don't officially, quote unquote, answer to him, but as we have seen, are compelled to do so? Are you sure it's wise to take this course of action? Is that going to get things done for Democratic voters out there who you represent?
Welcome to the J. Mulatto Show. Did y'all see Jasmine Crockett crying? What was that about? She was standing on the corner store, inside of it, crying for some reason. I didn't understand that. You guys let me know if you got a chance to witness Jasmine Crockett just crying on camera. It was bizarre. I mean, she always has so much attitude. I had to fix my car today. It took me all day. That's probably why you guys haven't seen me posting as much as usual. I had to add 2 side post terminals. You guys know anything about side post terminals? I can't stand them, is what I know about them. If you ever had a GM or a Cadillac, you have the side post terminals. They are a headache, I promise. We're going to see tonight who's not going to show up. Of course, that's going to make them look like a fool to me. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and please send me as many hearts and likes as you can so the algorithm can push this live to the masses. There's going to be a lot of truth telling on this podcast. I want you guys to enjoy the show. We're going to watch Scott Jennings right after this. I'm going to watch them break down what they saw, what we saw together. Right here on the Jay Ravato Show with CNN. I just want to know how we're going to bring the country together with all of this divisiveness. It's bizarre.
terms now in a row.
Jamil Jaffer is a law and national security professor at George Mason University and a Republican. He sees Trump as within the norm so far in terms of military action overseas, but he sees unique imbalance in power otherwise.
These are really interesting and perhaps dangerous times. An overly assertive executive without any constraint by Congress, with limited constraints by the court. We've seen how that operates in other countries. We haven't seen that here historically in America.
Republicans are divided on the arc of power.
Look, I think the balance is where it's always been. We have the appropriations process that is a check and balance.
In general, in terms of our balance of powers, it's not very balanced anymore. Mainly because Congress has willingly, over the decades, given up constitutional authority.
While Democrats see them as throwing away power right now.
As it pertains to President Trump, it is unprecedented. There is virtually no pushback whatsoever.
Congress.
I wouldn't listen to a thing that she says. Roll it.
Overall recognizes but has.
By the way, this is the Democrat response that we're watching right now. This is the People's State of the Union. I don't want to watch that, you guys. We can go over to it, but we're going to discuss what they're talking about and the divide that they have on the left. But we're not going to delve into that programming right now. All right, we're here for the State of the Union, and that's what we're going to watch. You know, I can't really get with the divisiveness and divisiveness right now. Not right now. We will discuss that, though. We will.
Yet to reckon with the situation. The first branch in the Constitution is often a second thought in critical.
Yeah. Let's get back to the program. One thing I can say that if this starts late, I wouldn't be surprised. A president always walks in fashionably late. Not late, but fashionably on time. He comes in on president's time, presidential timing. And also, you have to watch out and make sure the whole vicinity is protected by the Secret Service and the like. Comment down in the comment section. Where are you watching this from? Are you in Seattle? Are you in California, Washington, D.C.? Are you in North Carolina, Virginia, New Jersey? Where are you watching this epic moment from tonight? I'm in Virginia Beach, Virginia. I have to say that Abigail Spanberger is the worst that I've ever heard of and ever seen run a state. Get her out of here. It is now 8:20, and we're still, that's Eastern Standard Time, we're still waiting on this to start. You guys let me know in the comments section, what do you expect for the president to say tonight? What do you want for him to say tonight? What do you expect for the Democrats to do? How do you expect for them to respond? Are you watching this in hopes that the president messes up? Are you watching this in hopes that he succeeds? Let me know in the comments section. We can discuss it. We can talk about it on the Jay Bravado Show. Drop a comment down in the comment section down below. Where are you watching this from? Like I said before, I'm in Virginia Beach, Virginia, watching this, and I have to say, Abby Girl Spanberger. Abby Girl. Because the reason why she's here now, acting like a child, addressing the nation from Williamsburg, Virginia, trying to obstruct and disrupt the State of the Union. This is her counter speech she's doing in Williamsburg, Virginia, which I think is ironic because that's where slavery was started and held. I don't know why we have Abigail Spanberger, but we do. Wake up, America. The Democrats are going to have a whole lot to say tomorrow morning. And that's per usual. That's normal for the Democrats. That's the norm. They're going to say things. They're going to hate it. They're going to say that he was a horrible speaker. He did this and he was slow. And they're going to say everything that they can bad about the president. But that's just what they do. We have people to come on the live and then they seem to want to see the president speaking more than anything. I know the people walking back and forth is a little odd. So let's go. I don't understand why they're not at least bringing out someone to speak. But I think we're going to have something happen in a little bit. Let me cut this up. Maybe someone's coming out. 1 second. Turn this up a little bit. Okay. We were supposed to start at 8 o'clock. And here we are. Okay. I don't expect to see Jasmine Crockett. She was crying like a day ago in a convenience store. All right, let's get started. All right. So CNN took a break, as they should. Let's go ahead and get this rolling.
Decisions for the country and the world. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Lisa Desjardins.
So Liz, as you've been reporting, the president has been frustrated. He's not getting enough credit when it comes to the economy. That's why he went to Georgia to talk about this. What did he say?
Well, today he was focused on affordability, the economy. This was also a political visit for him. This is a congressional district that's going to have a special election soon, so kind of several birds with one stone here. He was touting the stock market. He was touting some signature legislation that has also passed recently.
The great, big, beautiful bill is basically a tax cut bill. And you know, when you hear the fake Democrats talking about it, like, oh, the great, big, beautiful bill, you know, they try and mock it. We put 4 years worth of goodies into that bill, and everybody said it couldn't be done.
The president.
What do you guys think about the big, beautiful bill, the great, big, beautiful bill? Was it beneficial or did it hurt the country? Let me know in the comment section down below. And also, I promise you, when we get to that State of the Union, I will broadcast that as live as can be. Roll it.
The president visited a restaurant there, and then he gave that speech at a steel mill in Georgia. This was his first domestic trip on this issue, talking about affordability in the economy, since he went to Iowa a few weeks ago. But Amna, there was some mixed messaging here today. He goes off on tangents. He gives these speeches sometimes, was talking about the operation in Venezuela a few weeks ago at the beginning of the year, also talking about a number of grievances on issues where he doesn't think he's getting credit on. So he still has trouble sometimes sticking directly to the messaging.
Well, your reporting has also shown that his chief of staff, Susie Wiles, held a sort of unusual closed-door strategy session this week to talk about messaging for the midterms. What do we know about that?
Yeah, a source who participated in the meeting talked to me about this and said that this was an effort to get Republicans, both inside the administration and outside allies, on the same message and talking about the same priorities. This person said that affordability is the #1 issue right now for the White House going into the midterm election. Susie Wiles, the chief of staff, talked about this. So did James Blair, who is the deputy chief of staff, and then pollster Tony Fabrizio, who's worked with the president for a while. They were among the speakers. And this Republican said that, look, these issues like affordability on energy prices, on housing, on healthcare, fuel prices, and groceries, those are sort of the main tenets that they're focused on right now. And this person said, the president has now been in office for more than a year, and there are only so many things that he, the president, can blame Biden, his predecessor, on at this point, and recognizing that they need to get out there and sell.
All right. We have Scott Jennings and Van Jones. Let's get into it. This is exciting. Oh, boy. I wonder when he's going to start crying. Roll the clip.
Van,
Okay, good.
I think we're ready.
Good. I think. Okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's go.
You can't take him anywhere.
We're already.
Honestly, we're already off the rails.
We're already
3 seconds.
Exactly.
They said, Van, you're supposed to start the live cast.
I am Van Jones. I'm here with Scott Jennings. This is the first ever, as you can tell, the first ever CNN live cast for the State of the Union. We got protesters outside. We've got political pros on the inside. We've got military families. We've got all kind of people. But most importantly, we get a chance to have a conversation, not in Washington, D.C., but here at Ground Zero, the heart of the heartland in America, Saginaw, Michigan.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting conversation tonight. So we're going to talk to these 10 voters that we have collected. We have people that are more Republican, more Democrat. We have a couple of independents here as well. And Van, we're in a swing area of a swing state. Yeah. This area has bounced back and forth. Michigan has bounced back and forth. And we've been pre-gaming the State of the Union here just a little bit. And I don't think we're going to have any trouble getting into some deep opinions here.
In fact, there's a test here in Saginaw that some might call the Myers test. And I want to start with you. Can you explain to people what is the Myers test? What is Myers, and and how is Trump possibly failing the Myers test in your life?
Well, he's failing the Myers Myers test in my life because my ends are not meeting. I'm having a really well, he's failing the Myers test in my life because my ends are not meeting. I'm having a really hard time. Meyer is similar to a Walmart, but it's more in Michigan, Ohio.
I feel like her ends are not meeting because she's not doing enough. She's not working hard enough, but she feels like the blame shall be put on someone else. That's why her ends are not meeting, because she's pointing the finger. Roll it.
Kentucky.
We have Meyer in Louisville.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You do.
So you said something about your ends?
My ends are not meeting. I'm having a very hard time because the prices keep going up and my income is steady. So my income is not going up. My utility bills are going up. My water bill is going up. Everything is going up, but my income ain't going up.
And do you blame Trump for that, or do you blame Biden for that?
No, I blame Trump.
Why?
She's bringing the wrong
When
conversation.
Biden was in office, my ends were meeting very, very well. I could go on vacation if I wanted to.
Despite all that Biden inflation?
What? No way. You guys comment down in the comment section. Please let me know what you think about this. What she's saying. I think it's out of control. I think maybe she's off a little bit. It was horrible under Biden. Right?
Yes, despite Biden inflation, yes. Now,
Oh, no, she's crazy.
I can't afford to live.
What?
And Saginaw has a low cost of living compared to other parts of the country, and my ends are not meeting, and I'm living in a modest area.
My last question to you is, you said something to me about your energy bill.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about what these cold snaps have meant for ratepayers here in Michigan, because I think people may not be aware. These cold winters are doing a number on folks up here.
Yes, they are, because what happens is that we have to have heat. So we can't conserve our heat. So your energy bills are going to go up.
Right.
Also, because of the cold weather, you sometimes have to run your water because you don't want your pipes to freeze.
That's also
so
true.
Therefore, my water bill has gone up as well.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you guys a question, and I'll throw it open for anybody. We're here, obviously, tonight to watch the State of the Union. Do you normally watch this speech? Is this something that you normally would sit down and watch the entire thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so, and how much of the speech, sticks with you? I mean, are you looking?
Really quickly, you can't blame the government for your water bill. That's a state issue. And maybe your electric bill, but not both. Blame your governor.
For the president, any president, to give you an explanation of what's been going on, or are you looking for more of a forward-looking plan about what he plans to do for the next year? Let's start down here.
Good question. I kind of take it as what's been going on. Are you confident with the state of the economy, state of the union? And I need laid out steps on how we're going to accomplish whatever it is that you have planned for.
Okay, so you're looking for something affirmative to deal with the issues going on in the country. What about you, sir?
I'm really interested in seeing where we're going. We know where we are and we know where we've been, but where are we going? Where is our leadership taking us? And it's important that, I have over 40 employees, and I'm concerned about my employees, their well-being, and so I want to know where we're going. I want to plan for the future, not only for me and my family, but for my employees and their families.
Yeah, you have a towing company. Your company's been in business for over 70 years, and it's a family business. Maybe talk to us a little bit about, how things are going for family businesses right now. What's going well?
40 members is a lot. Is it a lot in the context of 535 members? And whether there's a visual representation
We
of
got to
that,
stop
I think
that really
we're
quick
going to have to
because we
wait
are
and see.
live now, watching the State of the Union.
Connected to the fact that so many of these members have elected not to come is that they still invited people to sit in the gallery, constituents, people that are connected to them in their districts in some way, shape, or form. Many of these members invited.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now watching the State of the Union address with President Donald J. Trump. Enjoy.
Strong language leading up to tonight. What, if any, type of language will he actually use tonight to?
Let's listen in our first look inside the chamber.
The House will come to order.
House to order.
The Vice President and United States Senate.
Taking a look here at Vice President J.D. Vance walking in, presiding, of course, in his role over the Senate in this instance.
That's the future.
And it looks like that's Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer right behind him. Senator Thune, along with Senator Schumer there. And I believe that our Chief Capitol Hill correspondent, Ryan Nobles, has made his way to his position, has a bird's eye view of all of this. Ryan, tell us more.
Yep, that's right, Hallie. And we did see the Speaker of the House just gavel this into an official session, which designates the fact that we are getting closer to the president's speech. One of my early observations from inside of the room that you may not have a full understanding of by watching on television is the Democratic side of the aisle. Now, we are still quite a ways away from the president's speech, probably at least 25 to 30 minutes away from the president's speech itself, but there are noticeable empty seats on the Democratic side of the chamber, and we've been told that as many as 40 different members of Congress, both House and Senate, have elected not to attend this speech at all. Many of them are participating in what they're calling a People's State of the Union on the Mall right now. And this is kind of a new and novel form of protest by Democrats. We've seen various ways that Democrats have attempted to protest Donald Trump's speech over the course of 2 different administrations. And this is the first time, at least during Trump's administrations, that we've seen such a coordinated effort for so many members not to attend tonight. And it'll be interesting to see once we get closer to the actual speech whether their absence is visible. 40 members is a lot. Is it a lot in the context of 535 members? And whether there's a visual representation of that, I think we're going to have to wait and see. Now, one of the interesting dynamics connected to the fact that so many of these members have elected not to come is that they still invited people to sit in the gallery, constituents, people that are connected to them in their districts in some way, shape, or form. Many of these members inviting survivors of the Epstein scandal. So there are members that have kind of ushered their guests into the gallery above, but then have left the building, or at least left this area, and won't participate in the speech itself, Hallie. So that's one of the first things that I'm noticing here as we get set for the speech to take place.
Ryan Nobles, I'm going to ask you to stand by as you're there in the gallery. We've been watching the entry, of course, of the vice president. A little selfie action there on the floor. People stake out these aisle seats for quite a while before the speeches begin for moments like these, interactions with the vice president, with the president when he comes down. And speaking of the president, our chief White House correspondent, Peter Alexander, has an early look at some excerpts literally just into us in the last maybe 45 seconds, Peter.
As you watch the floor, we anticipate the president will deliver, as part of his remarks, some of the following statements, including this. He will say, "Tonight, after just 1 year, I can say with dignity and pride that we have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before and a turnaround for the ages. We will never go back to where we were just a short time ago." He will say, among other things, when it comes to the corruption that is plundering America, there has been no more stunning example than Minnesota, where he says members of the Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the American taxpayer.
I hope he talks about that tonight, because they've been blocking the investigation of that fraud for the longest time. And it seems like we're not getting anywhere. Where's Tim Walz?
I think that'll raise some eyebrows for some. Obviously, it's a place where the president directed a lot of his frustration, ultimately directed a lot of American troops as well, ended up with the deaths of Renee Good and with Alex Preddy there as well, which caused a lot of concern, ultimately led the president to say that he learned, among other things, he needed to take a softer touch on that. And I think on the topic of corruption, a lot of Democrats who are attending or boycotting will likely make the point that they believe this administration is responsible for some of that corruption. He is also going to make points as it relates to foreign policy. He will say, as president, he'll make peace wherever I can, but I will never hesitate to confront threats to America wherever we must. We are also restoring American security and dominance in the Western Hemisphere, a nod to what happened most recently in Venezuela, and again, more recently in Mexico, as it relates to one of the cartel leaders who was killed by Mexican forces with the help of the United States in some form. So those are some of the things that we anticipate we're going to hear from him in the course of these remarks as a function of the excerpts we're now being handed right now. But again, Donald Trump is a unique figure.
Well,
The excerpts
okay. You're going
always-
exactly where I was going to take you, Peter.
The excerpts are what's in the teleprompter, as they say, but there are some other things that are out of anybody's control except for the brain of the president himself. And when he sees others in that room, when he gets reactions in the room, that's sometimes the most revealing moments of all.
And it's not altogether unexpected. We may see reactions. We've seen that in the past. We saw that last year. Gabe Gutierrez, I know you were eager to jump into the conversation here, pal. Over to you.
Yeah, that's right. And listen, in addition to those excerpts that Peter was talking about, I'm looking at a few more, and we can clearly see that his speechwriters really wanted to hit the theme of America's 250th birthday. And in another excerpt, mentioning from 1776 to today, every generation of Americans has stepped forward to defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for the next. Now it is our turn, the president is expected to say. And then further down, towards the end of the speech, potentially, he will end towards his closing remarks. It appears that he could say the revolution that began in 1776.
Wait a minute. We have to give Elizabeth Warren a round of applause. Now, she may be there to disrupt. Maybe. But she is there. We have to give her kudos for being there, unlike her constituents. Good job, Elizabeth. Good job. I still don't like you.
Six has not ended. It still continues because the flame of liberty and independence still burns in the hearts of every American patriot. So certainly a very nationalistic speech in those terms. We heard from a senior administration official earlier that that would be a theme running throughout this speech. But as you mentioned, Hallie, as you were speaking with Peter,
this is going to get
the question will be
spicy.
how much the president sticks to that script.
Well, that's it. As we're taking a look here, the senators from Georgia filing into the chamber, others as well in the room. And again, all of this happening as we expect to see the president making his way to the Capitol, arriving, if he hasn't already, any minute. I want to go back to Ryan Nobles, who's in the gallery, because Ryan, among the guests who are seated there, and you referenced this, are some of these survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse. And I understand that at least one of them was asked to remove a pin, correct, that she had been wearing. What do we know about that? Is that typical procedure?
Yeah, so our understanding, Hallie, is that the pin said release the Epstein files, and it is common procedure for the gallery staff and members of the Capitol Police who are ushering the folks that will be sitting in the gallery through the security process, that they have to remove any sort.
Are the files not already released? Maybe I'm missing something. Let me know in the comment section down below.
Of iconography or material or clothing that has any sort of message on it. So, for instance, you can't wear a T-shirt that says "Make America Great Again." You can't wear a button that has any sort of message on it. Now, there are survivors that are getting around that by wearing the butterfly pin, which survivors have been using as kind of a symbol for the work that they are doing to try and bring this issue to light. So we have seen those in the gallery, but any sort of pin that has a specific message on it, any type of shirt, you can't bring any sign into the gallery. That material, the gallery staff will quickly grab it and take it away from you as you're coming in. Also, any rank and file member, any guest that is in the gallery is also not allowed to bring any sort of cell phone in. They're not allowed to take pictures or take video of that experience while they're physically inside the chamber. So there is a strict set of rules that they have to adhere to as being guests of Congress as a part of the State of the Union, Hallie.
And Nobles, thank you. Kristen, we just saw Senator Graham, Senator Cotton. You see the two of them, you got to think.
That is the most logical guy that they have on the Democrat side. Featherman, I don't know how to really consume his other values and policies, but he's coming to his senses. And I'm saying that slow because he's slowly coming to his senses. Roll it.
Foreign policy, you got to talk about what the president may say on Iran.
Well, you raised such an important point because in the weeks leading up to this address, Hallie, you have Senator Lindsey Graham in particular urging President Trump to take strong action against Iran, arguing that Iran is in a uniquely weakened position right now, coming on the heels of President Trump striking Iran several months ago, as he says, decimating its nuclear program. Of course, there's been some debate about that, but zooming out, that is what is on the table now. President Trump trying to determine what his next steps will be on Iran. We know that there are going to be critical talks on Thursday. We don't anticipate he's going to make a decision until those talks conclude. He wants to get a deal. Can he get a deal? You think about what happened in Venezuela, regime change. By all accounts, regime change in Iran, and we don't even know that that would be the ultimate goal. Increasingly more complicated than regime change in a country like Venezuela. And one more point I'll just add, Hallie. We'll be listening closely to see if there are any tea leaves on Iran and his thinking there. But don't forget, today marks the 4-year anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. President Trump campaigned on a promise to end that war. He's now said that's proven more complicated. Will he provide any update in terms of where those talks stand right now?
Kristen Welker, thank you. We'll see you, of course, for the big speech. I want to go to Keir Simmons, who's joining us now as well, our senior foreign correspondent. And Keir, pick up where Kristen left off here, because I'll tell you, in some of my conversations with Trump voters, one thing I heard repeatedly from several of them was, I'd like to hear the president talk less about foreign entanglements and more about what's happening here at home.
I think that's right, but then I think he will speak about the looming possibility of those strikes on Iran that Kristen was just talking about. And that excerpt that Peter read out, Hallie, I think is significant. Just to repeat, he said he's going to say, we are told, as president, I will make peace wherever I can, but I will never hesitate to confront threats to America where we must. Is that something of a pivot by President Trump as he looks towards those negotiations with Iran on Thursday that Kristen has been talking about? Is he beginning to set up the possibility of these strikes that he has to confront threats where he must, kind of explaining that the president of peace may be launching strikes that some say could be the beginning of, at the very least, a limited, short war with Iran? I think the president will want to send that message of peace through strength, but it's been challenged, hasn't it, in his first year of this second administration by President Putin over Russia and now by Iran. Will Iran bend? Because the Iranians today are saying they want peace, they want a deal, but on their terms. In other words, they're saying we would like to see some kind of a compromise, but we want to look strong too. That is the challenge President Trump faces here in this region where I am, and that is a challenge that, for example, Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says today he needs to try to explain, President Trump needs to try to explain to the American people.
Keir Simmons, thank you. You're taking a live look now. It's some of the other, let's call them esteemed guests in the room, the members of the media, including our own Ryan Nobles, our chief Capitol Hill correspondent. And Ryan, I'll go to you here as we're taking a look at the room filling up. We should note that it appears, I think we saw a shot of the doors closing as the members of the Senate are now in the chamber. And I guess so too are the men's hockey team, huh?
Yeah, well, they're not in the chamber quite yet, Hallie. And one of the things.
Can we please give a special shout out? We're going to play this video right after the address. I mean, what an amazing win for the USA. Jake, what an amazing guy. He did it with no teeth in his mouth. Come on, guys.
To figure out is exactly how they will feature in this speech tonight. There's a timing issue related to all of this. They were invited at the last minute. All the seats were spoken for. They're not allowed on the floor because this is an active session of Congress. But we are told that the group of hockey players who were seen in the rotunda of the Capitol earlier this evening taking pictures with Speaker Johnson, they then were decamped in Speaker Johnson's office, made their way out of the Speaker's office, and then headed up to the third floor outside the gallery where I'm sitting and where all the guests are sitting. So as you wait to see where they will appear throughout this speech, the guess would be that they're going to appear somewhere in the gallery. Will they be introduced and walk into the gallery, maybe walk down the steps through different doors and are honored that way? That remains to be seen. But we don't expect them to come out into the floor, the main floor of the chamber, and they won't be, at least it doesn't look like right now, they won't be sitting in the chamber throughout the entire speech. But there was some back and forth. Will they, won't they? We know definitively that they will be here and they will be honored in some form or fashion. But there will be a bit of anticipation as to just how that plays out over the course of the speech, Hallie.
And it all happened, Ryan, I think we should point out, heads spinningly quickly from them dominating in that dramatic, well, I don't know, It was close. It was close. The gold medal match on, Sunday morning, East Coast time, from Milan to Miami.
Don't try to minimize their win. I can smell it coming. Don't do it. Look at this, Mr. Spanberger.
And now to D.C. here. All of it, of course, as the team came under some controversy when the FBI director showed up at the post-game party.
Yeah, I mean, we should point out, while I think all Americans are very proud of the effort of the gold medal winning hockey team, there is some controversy associated with it. The fact that the FBI director was in the locker room after the game, ostensibly on a government-funded work-related trip where he did have meetings in and around Milan during the course of the games. But then also the president's call into the locker room after the game has been met with a degree of controversy. He did congratulate the team, but then seemed to kind of joke about wanting to invite the women's team as well, suggesting that if he doesn't invite the women's team, that he might be impeached. He later did formally invite the women's team to be a part of the State of the Union. They respectively declined. They didn't really offer any context around the reason for declining, but the women's hockey team...
They were liberal. They were liberal women. That's why they did that. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to saying no to the president. I don't get it. They were just liberal.
Will not be here tonight. And we should also point out, from a sports perspective, that these NHL players and their NHL players have to get right back into the NHL season. The NHL season kicks back up after its Olympic break tomorrow night. So you're right. They were in Milan just a couple of days ago, Miami yesterday, in Washington here tonight, and many of them will be scattered across North America in upcoming NHL games.
Ryan Nobles, thank you. Mel Zanona joining us along with John Allen. Let's listen into the speaker here.
The President of the United States into the chamber. The gentleman from Louisiana, Mr. Scalise. The gentleman from Minnesota, Mr. Emmer. The gentlewoman from Michigan, Mrs. McClain. The gentleman from North Carolina, Mr. Hudson. The gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Reschenthaler. The gentleman from Utah, Mr. Moore. The gentlewoman from Indiana, Mrs. Houchin. The gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. Hearn. The gentleman from New York, Mr. Jeffries. The gentleman from California, Mr. Aguilar. The gentleman from California, Mr. Liu. The gentlewoman from Washington, Mrs. Delbene. The gentlewoman from Michigan, Mrs. Dingle.
The President of the Senate, at the direction of that body, appoints the following senators as members of the Committee on the part of the Senate to escort the President of the United States into the House chamber. The Senator from South Dakota, Mr. Thune. The Senator from Wyoming, Mr. Barrasso. The Senator from Arkansas,
And Mel, this is the escort committee being laid out. Those who will bring the president into the chamber. And it's always, these are the moments when you're like, I wish I had a mic on every seat. I wish I had a microphone on every lapel to hear it all, right?
This is when the C-SPAN cameras really come in handy, because the dynamics in the chamber are the most fascinating piece of the entire night, especially because my colleagues in the room are telling us we see some Republicans and Democrats hanging out together. Thomas Massey, he was one of the people who pushed for the Epstein files, along with Ro Khanna. They were shaking hands, taking pictures together. It's always fun to see who's in the center.
Speaking of Ro Khanna, have anyone heard about her actual involvement or his? Have you? I'm sorry. That sounds like a... Have you heard of the actual involvement of Ro Khanna and Epstein? We don't have time to do it right now, but look it up. Roll it.
Aisle trying to get that prime seat so they could shake the president's hand. We also saw that there's a number of high-profile guests in the audience, too. Notably, there's also a Senate Republican candidate who's vying for a Trump endorsement. That's Ken Paxton of Texas.
The acting dean of the diplomatic corps.
Let's go.
And now the entrances begin as they bring folks in, Mel. Please.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So much pomp and circumstance. And here's where you can really see who has those center seats, who's going to be trying to shake hands with the president. We're also getting a glimpse of which Democrats are there and not there, which has also been a storyline that we're watching, because last year there were so many outbursts from Democrats. It really drew attention away from the night. And so this year, the Democratic leadership really counseled their Democratic members, if you're going to show up, you must sit there in silent protest. And we don't want your antics taking away from Trump. Essentially, let Trump shoot himself in the foot here. We don't need to be the story. So you are seeing a number of Democratic absences. They're attending counter-programming. Even a member of the Democratic leadership, Catherine Clark, deciding not to attend tonight. So really fascinating dynamics to watch inside the chamber.
For sure. And Seton Gardner, the Assistant House Sergeant at Arms there, making these announcements to bring the various folks in, including, we may, John, at some point see, of course, some members of the Supreme Court.
We may see some members of the Supreme Court. How fraught will that be if it happens?
Explain that.
So certainly there are the 3 members that voted with President Trump on the tariffs decision last week, which is basically Alito and Thomas and Kavanaugh. But then there are the 6 that voted against him, including the 3 appointed by Republicans, so Amy Coney Barrett, Neil Gorsuch, and John Roberts, who he suggested, maybe shouldn't have had their seats on the Supreme Court. That could be very icy. Maybe not icy enough for the hockey team to skate onto the floor.
Okay, John.
But it could be icy in the chamber with the Supreme Court justice.
Let me just think, there were some Republicans who actually said today they were clear about what they want to hear and what they don't want to hear. They do not want to hear attacks on the Supreme Court justice.
Ryan Nobles, they want to hear more of an optimistic take, as I know we're about to lose you as some of these entrances happen.
Yeah, that's right, Hallie. And I think that what Republicans, particularly Republicans that are running in midterm races, and that's every single member of the House and a significant chunk of the Senate, they want to hear the president's message on affordability and a plan to address rising costs. And it'll be interesting to see if the president lays out an agenda trying to explain to people that things are better maybe than they perceive, or if he actually lays out a plan that they can run on in these upcoming midterms. And here come the Supreme Court justices.
Okay. And always an interesting moment here to see who walks in, who shows up, who decides to attend for this position. Amisha and Matt here with us. All of it as we look at the dynamics in play.
Totally. And that room is smaller than it looks on TV, so everybody's really close comfort.
And this is the same Supreme Court, as we all know, that granted Trump immunity. And I think that over the course of time, he has looked to them to basically be the standard bearers for his policy agenda. And that's why he struck so hard. And I think that during this speech tonight, we'll hear him strike again.
And we see now 4 members, it looks to my eye, of the Supreme Court there. Chief Justice Roberts, Justices Kagan, Justice Amy Coney Barrett as well. Interesting dynamic, as John has pointed out on all of this. And Mel, to get back to your point, and I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I know Ryan has to sneak off for a second. The optimistic tone is what some Republicans say they want to see, even as there are some questions around President Trump going into the 2nd year now of his 2nd term, starting to enter that, into a midterm where the historic winds are blowing against the Republican Party, as they do for the party in power. 18 of the last 20 midterms saw the president in power, his party lose seats. And questions about how the lame duckiness, let's call it, right? Not there yet. We're not even close to there yet. We don't see Republicans, very rarely do we see Republicans split from the president in moments like this.
No, but they are the ones on the ballot in November. And so that's what the concern is. They get none of the benefits of Trump running on the ballot, but they get all of the baggage. So that is why they want him to focus on affordability. They want him to be talking about the one big beautiful bill. They want him to hype up the tax credits and the tax refunds that are expected. So Republicans to take credit for those, because I've talked to senior Republicans who have said they're very disappointed so far in how the party has messaged those wins and those accomplishments. So that is what they're looking for tonight. They also want Trump to acknowledge how voters are feeling about the cost of living, something Trump struggles to do in some of these speeches. So the question is, can he stay on message? Does he go off script? Does he veer into some of these personal vendettas, including attacking the Supreme Court justices?
And there are many in the MAGA inner circle, John, and I know that you are on the phone every day with your sources, who want to see the fighter, who want to see the president come out swinging.
Oh, absolutely. That's all they want to see from him. That is his calling card. What I will say, though, to Mel's point about the midterms, and your point about the 18 out of 20 midterms, what tends to happen is that the break comes too late for the party in power. That when they do break from the president, it is too late to save their majority. And with Trump, that's an even bigger danger because he demands so much loyalty from so many people and punishes those who don't show it, whether or not it helps.
I'm going to be disagreeing with NBC all night.
In his view,
I can see that right
We're
now.
also in primary seasons still as well. So that's another concern of Republicans.
Next week, remember,
That has real. The March 3rd primaries, especially in Texas, we talk about, we like to hype things up a lot of times. No, the March 3rd primaries has direct correlation to what
Speaking of the March 3rd primaries, Jasmine Crockett was in the convenience store sobbing. I think bad news is coming. Roll it.
Happening November. Look no further than both sides of the aisle in the Texas Senate race. Whomever emerges in those primaries, that's going to be either hundreds of millions of dollars spent in that, state November, or not as much.
Matt Corman, listen to you teasing our special coverage a week from tonight. That's what I call a deep tease.
See you there.
Amisha, it is remarkable, I think, or at least notable, as you see members of the president's family here. So this is interesting.
Right.
Ivanka Trump, Barron Trump, she has kept much more of a low profile this term, her father's second term, than she did in the first term, when she was obviously part of the administration, moving forward with various policy initiatives that she pursued and led. Amisha, it's also notable when we look at this shot in particular that C-SPAN's putting up to see those empty seats.
No, absolutely. I think it makes a difference. There are a lot of Democratic
Right.
voters.
And the
who-
First Lady, I was wondering who that applause is for as the First Lady walks in. And you see she's getting a round of applause from some in the room.
There are a lot of Democratic voters who want to see Democrats as fighters. And I think that for Democrats who just sit in the room and don't have anything to say, we know that they can't do bombastic things in this space. Democrats, the voting base wants to see them do something else, wants to see them push hard against Trump. They can't do it in the room, but they can definitely do it outside of it. That's why the people's speech matters a lot more to a lot of people.
And John, when we talk about the role of the First Lady here, I mean, she is somebody who has just recently put out this documentary that she worked on with obviously Amazon that bought it out. She has worked to raise her public profile too, as we see the next group walking in. And it looks like this is the
Marco
cabinet.
Rubio. All right.
And so interesting in that public profile raising, because the first time she was not so public, not so prolific, but you see, as you were saying there, the cabinet's walking in. Ivanka's husband, you were mentioning Ivanka Trump before, her husband has taken a big role in this administration.
I got 25 seconds left. Dave Gutierrez, I'll sneak you in as we watch the cabinet coming in. Final
Certainly,
thoughts.
Hallie. Well, look, a lot to watch for here. We're looking for the president to tout his accomplishments. Peace through strength is something that we've been hearing over and over again from White House officials as we head into this speech. And the question will be, does he take any sort of swipe at the Supreme Court justices? At this point, we're just not sure, but we'll be watching, Hallie.
Gabe Gutierrez, thank you. And that does it for this NBC News Now special. We'll pause here for a special report. Thanks for watching, with more coverage now.
All right, rolling. Just keep it rolling. If y'all don't do that, we have to keep it moving because we're watching that
From
live.
NBC News,
Continue.
President Trump delivers the State of the
Let's do it.
Union. Live from Washington, D.C., here is Tom Llamas.
And good evening. Welcome to our special coverage of President Trump's State of the Union address, the first of his second term. Here is lawmakers, both senators, members of the House, and they decided not to show up. So we are thinking at some point we're going to see empty seats once everyone sits down. Ryan Nobles is live for us right now inside the chamber. Ryan, what do we expect to see with all those Democrats out protesting outside of Capitol Hill?
Well, Tom, I can tell you this is the fourth State of the Union that I've covered inside the chamber, and the number of empty seats on the Democratic side of the chamber is noticeable. Now, you're right. We'll have to wait and see until the president gets in this room and actually takes to the lectern whether or not those areas will begin to fill out. But we are now talking more than 30, perhaps as many as 40 members of the House and Senate on the Democratic side choosing not to attend this speech here tonight. Many of them participating in what they're calling the People's State of the Union down on the National Mall. This is a different form of protest for Democrats, and one that is definitely
President of the United States.
Let's go. All right.
President Trump officially entering the chamber right now to a roaring round of applause from Republicans there. Democrats choosing, some of them to stay silent right now. Just behind him, the House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, the Senate Majority Leader John Thune, as well as the House Majority Whip as well, Tom Emmer. The president here shaking hands, and as we know, Hallie Jackson, a lot of those lawmakers have waited a long time to get in that. It's first come, first served. That's right. Sort of like those concerts we grew up going to. You have to wait in line, but people want to get there. We see one now with a Make America Great Again hat. looking to say a few words to the president and to get his eye and to get his ear, right?
Do you want a microphone on every lapel? Because I do. I want to hear everything they're talking about here, because for some of these folks, it's an opportunity to get a message directly to the president, as you see here, or to the vice president who preceded him here. And listen, you have talked about it here. We know what the big focus of this speech is going to be and what Republicans want the focus of the speech to be. I can tell you, I've spent the last couple of days talking with voters, Trump voters, people who supported the president. Almost every single one of them said, I need to hear him talk about my money, basically, what my wallet, my budget, my pocketbook. I don't want to hear about Greenland or the Arch, and I'm paraphrasing here. I don't want to hear about foreign entanglements. I want to know how he's helping specifically the middle class. And these are people who had backed him. I asked for a grade. A lot of them said, you know, B, C, basically. They're willing to give him some time so that they can feel better about how they are doing with their money. But at this point, they are not. I asked a few of them, hey, the president says repeatedly inflation is defeated, that this is a rip-roaring economy. Do you feel that? And several of these voters says, I just don't right now.
Yeah, in the era, I should say, of social media, the selfies have begun here, even in the House chamber. Lawmakers not above that. The same thing we do sometimes. Christine Romans, you know, Hallie brought up a lot of good points. We were talking about this just before we came on. People go to the grocery store. Yes, some prices have come down, but others like beef and coffee, gas has come down, but beef and coffee is higher. Natural gas to heat your home. It's been a brutal winter for so many. It's still expensive to live in America.
It really is. And you look at car loans are getting longer and longer and more.
We just saw a moment right there, the president shaking Amy Coney Barrett's hands. It was unclear how he was going to react to her saying that their family should be ashamed when she voted with the majority of the Supreme Court in striking down the tariff deal. We'll see if he mentions or if he says anything else, but the president there, and he alluded to this when we were speaking to him, he wasn't going to focus too much on the Supreme Court when we had lunch with him earlier today. But we'll wait and see. You never know. If the president sees somebody, someone catches his eye, and he starts talking. Christine, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say the White House and the team, the president's supporters and the president's team think that they've got a very good story to tell about the economy overall. They like to talk about high in the stock market. But you look at the length of car loans, and you look at how hard it is to buy a house, and you look at child care costs.
I can't wait to hear what President Donald J. Trump talks about. Let's get into it. I'm excited. Are you?
The budget that have been too troubling. So maybe you'll see the president tonight shift and look forward and say, stick with me. Things are going to get better in the future. And here's how we're going to make that happen.
We'll peel back the curtain a little bit. Kristen and I were able to have lunch with the president with some other network news anchors today at the White House. A delicious lunch, I should say. The president himself seemed to be in very good spirits, Kristen. I think that's fair to say. He was excited about this speech. He seemed in a good mood, even though he was in a room full of the media. Sometimes, you know, he goes to war with us a few times, you know, every week. Peter Alexander knows that better than some. But he seemed to be in good spirits.
He did. He seemed energized by this moment. This is the president in his element in front of a crowd. Now, he likes the campaign trail. One of the key questions I think top Republicans are wondering, will he actually stick to the script tonight?
We're going to hear the Speaker of the House introduce him now. Let's listen in.
Members of Congress, I have the high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you the President of the United States.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's really an honor. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, First Lady of the United States.
That's right.
Second Lady of the United States.
JD.
Members of Congress and my fellow Americans, our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before. Less than 5 months from now, our country will celebrate an epic milestone in American history, the 250th anniversary of our glorious American independence.
All right.
This July 4th, we will mark 2.5 centuries of liberty and triumph, progress and freedom in the most incredible and exceptional nation ever to exist on the face of the earth. And you've seen nothing yet. We're going to do better and better and better. This is the golden age of America. When I last spoke in this chamber 12 months ago, I had just inherited a nation in crisis with a stagnant economy, inflation at record levels, a wide open border, horrendous recruitment for military and police, rampant crime at home, and wars and chaos all over the world. But tonight, after just 1 year, I can say with dignity and pride that we have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before, and a turnaround for the ages. It is indeed a turnaround for the ages.
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Here, oh man. And it's early too. Get him out of here. Isn't that the same guy?
And we will never go back to where we were just a very short time ago. We're not going back. Today our border is secure.
Same guy. USA. USA. Like, get him out of here. Come on, man. The same slick hair guy with the cane.
Thank you. Today our border is secure. Our spirit is restored. Inflation is plummeting. Incomes are rising fast. The roaring economy is roaring like never before. And our enemies are scared. Our military and police are stacked. And America is respected again, perhaps like never before.
Oh, they're going to talk about that tonight.
After 4 years in which millions and millions of illegal aliens poured across our borders, totally unvetted and unchecked, we now have the strongest and most secure border in American history by far.
This is a fact. And of course, they're going to try to spin it on CNN tomorrow. But this is a fact. A fact. Go.
In the past 9 months, 0 illegal aliens have been admitted to the United States.
Abby Phillips is going to be so mad. She's going to be so upset.
But we will always allow people to come in legally, people that will love our country and will work hard to maintain our country. The flow of deadly fentanyl across our border is down by a record 56%. And last year, the murder rate saw its single largest decline in recorded history. This is the biggest decline, think of it, in recorded history, the lowest number in over 125 years, year 1900. In fact, substantially before my wonderful father. I had a wonderful father, Fred, before he was born, substantially before he was born. That's a long time ago. He wouldn't like me to say that, but that's a long time ago. The Biden administration and its allies in Congress gave us the worst inflation in the history of our country. But in 12 months, my administration has driven core inflation down to the lowest level in more than 5 years. And in the last 3 months of 2025, it was down to 1.7%. Gasoline, which reached a peak of over $6 a gallon in some states under my predecessor, it was quite honestly a disaster, is now below $2.30 a gallon in most states, and in some places, $1.99 a gallon. And when I visited the great state of Iowa just a few weeks ago, I even saw $1.85 a gallon for gasoline. Mortgage rates are the lowest in 4 years and falling fast, and the annual cost of a typical new mortgage is down almost $5,000 just since I took office. 1 year.
Wow.
And low interest rates will solve the Biden-created housing problem while at the same time protecting the values of those people who already own a house that really feel rich for the first time in their lives. We want to protect those values. We want to keep those values up. We're going to do both.
Amen.
And we are going to keep it that way. The stock market has set 53 all-time record highs since the election. Think of that. 1 year. Boosting pensions, 401ks, and retirement accounts for the millions and millions of Americans. They're all gaining. Everybody's up, way up. In 4 long years, the last administration got less than $1 trillion in new investment in the United States. And when I say less, substantially less. In 12 months, I secured commitments for more than $18 trillion pouring in from all over the globe.
What is she talking about?
Think of it, much less than $1 trillion for 4 years versus much more than $18 trillion for 1 year. What a difference a president makes. A short time ago, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world, the hottest.
All right.
As thousands of new businesses are forming and factories, plants, and laboratories are being built, we have added 70,000 new construction jobs in just a very short period of time. It's getting bigger and bigger and stronger. Nobody can believe what they're watching. American oil production is up by more than 600,000 barrels a day, and we just received from our new friend and partner, Venezuela, more than 80 million barrels of oil. American natural gas production is at an all-time high because I kept my promise to drill, baby, drill.
All right.
More Americans are working today than at any time in the history of our country. Think about that. Any time in the history of our country, more working today. And 100% of all jobs created under my administration have been in the private sector. We ended DEI in America.
Come on. Beautiful. Beautiful. We need marriage.
We cut a record number of job-killing regulations, and in 1 year, we have lifted 2.4 million Americans, a record, off of food stamps.
Wow. Amazing.
And for all of these reasons, I say tonight, members of Congress, the state of our union is strong. Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it. People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our country. Until you came along, we're just always losing, but now we're winning too much. And I say, no, 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 you're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal
Bring them out.
Olympic hockey
Oh,
team.
wow.
Come on in.
They're going to talk about this tomorrow. Oh, wow. Look at the heroes. Look at the heroes. All right. I wish the ladies could have came, but that's okay. USA, USA, USA. Get that right there, man. That's America. USA. Let's go. He did it with few teeth. Let's go. This is beautiful. I love my president.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, wow. Come on, guys. Come on.
That's the first time I've ever seen them get up. And actually, not all of them did get up. But they beat a fantastic Canadian team in overtime, as everybody saw, as did the American women who will soon be coming to the White House.
All right. Come on, this is beautiful. Someone talk some sense into them already. Someone talk some sense into them. Beautiful. I was wondering, why didn't the ladies come? USA. Look at them.
They were in the Oval Office before, and I just want to say a second very big congratulations to Team USA. But I have to say that, and I told them this, and we took a vote of the team. I said, anybody votes no, I'm not doing it. So they stood there, and they weren't about to say no, because I've never seen a goaltender play as well as goalie Connor Hellebuck.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is a very amazing moment. This is a very amazing moment.
Think of it, 46 shots on goal, and I asked him, the one shot, the one where you put your stick in the back and it hit the neck of your stick and bounced off. Do you practice that, or was that a little lucky? He refused to answer that question. But I just want to tell you that the members of this great hockey squad will be very happy to hear, based on their vote and my vote, and in this case my vote was more important, that I will soon be presenting Connor with our highest civilian honor, which we will be given and which has been given to many athletes over the years. But when I say many, not too many, like 12, it's called the highest civilian honor in our country, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Wow. Oh, man. Oh, boy. They're going to have so much to say about this tomorrow. Roll it. Oh, boy. I don't see anything wrong with it. Good for you, sir. Good for you.
Great athletes have gotten that, very great, the best, and I thought he deserved it. And I did take a vote, every single one of them. I said, I'm not giving it if anybody goes no, and every single one of them rapidly put up their hand.
Beautiful.
So I want to thank you all. What a special job you did. What special champions you are. Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
I'm also pleased to say that the next time the Olympic torch is lit, it will be here in America for the 2028 Olympics, and it's the summer version right in Los Angeles. We're going to do a good job in Los Angeles.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
And Los Angeles is going to be safe, just like Washington, D.C. is now one of the safest cities in the country. And this year, and I must say I got them both. I got them in my first term, and I was disappointed because I didn't think I'd be the president when this happened. But strange things took place. And now I've got them because I got the Olympics and I got the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and I wanted to claim the 250th, but I didn't get away with that one. I couldn't claim that one for myself. But we're getting the World Cup, so we have the World Cup and the Olympics coming, and that is exciting news. So this will be a year to celebrate our country and the heroes who have kept it free. Men like Buddy Taggart. At age 17, Buddy volunteered to defend America in World War II, serving in the Pacific under the great General Douglas MacArthur. He fought bravely in the famous Battle of Manila, worked so hard. He was badly wounded and almost killed by enemy machine guns in Luzon. And 81 years ago this month, he liberated the largest internment camp in the Philippines, one of the largest anywhere in the world. But he earned many honors, including a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star, came home, started a family, and tonight he is in the gallery looking forward to July 4th, 2026, his 100th birthday.
Wow. That's amazing. Wow.
So, Buddy, you're a brave man, and we salute you. even in times of challenge, setback, and immense heartache, the spirit of 1776 has always shone through very brightly. It was July 4th of last year when floodwaters tore through a girls' summer camp in Central Texas. One of the worst things I've ever seen. I was there, rising 26 feet in the matter of minutes, tragically claiming many, many lives. You all remember that one. As the waters threatened to sweep her away, 11-year-old Millie Kate McClelland closed her eyes and prayed to God. She thought she was going to die. Those prayers were answered when Coast Guard rescue swimmer Scott Ruskin descended from a helicopter above. Nobody knew where he came from. It was Scott's first ever rescue mission, a young guy, but very brave, very, very top, always top in his class. And he lifted not just Millie Kate, but 164 others to safety.
Wow.
People watched Scott from a distance, and they couldn't believe what they were seeing. The winds were blowing, the rain was pouring, everything was going, and that rapid water, nobody's ever seen anything like it. They said, wow, that's something. Tonight, Scott and Millie Kate are here together, reunited for the very first time. Thank you, Scott, Millie Kate. And Petty Officer Ruskin, I'm pleased to inform you that I am now awarding you the Legion of Merit for extraordinary heroism, which is what it was, extraordinary heroism. Thank you.
Amazing. All right. Beautiful.
And I'd like to have the military aide to please come down and take care of the service. Military aide, thank you very much. Take care of that very important service. Thank you very much. From 1776 to today, every generation of Americans has stepped forward to defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And they're really doing it for the next generation. But now it's our turn. Together we're building a nation where every child has the chance to reach higher and go further, where government answers to the people, not the powerful, and where the interests of hardworking American citizens are always our first and ultimate concern. That is the debt we owe to the heroes who came before us, and that is the promise we must keep to America for our 250th year. Last year, I urged this Congress to begin the mission by passing the largest tax cuts in American history, and our Republican majorities delivered so beautifully. Thank you, Republicans.
Someone has to do it.
All Democrats, every single one of them, voted against these really important and very necessary massive tax cuts.
They're clapping for them?
They wanted large-scale tax increases to hurt the people instead. But we held strong, and with the great, big, beautiful bill, we gave you no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great
Beautiful.
seniors. And we also made interest on auto loans tax deductible the first time, but only if the car is made in America.
In America.
Recently in Pennsylvania, I met Megan Hemhauser, a devoted mom who's homeschools her children, beautiful, 2 children, during the day while waiting tables at night as her husband works overtime operating very heavy equipment. Megan is here this evening and she's happy to tell you that she is so much richer because with no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and our expanded child tax credit done again by Republicans, Megan and her husband will take home more than $5,000 extra just for the year, cutting her tax bill in more than half.
Beautiful.
Megan, please stand up. We're fighting for you, Megan.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you, Megan. We're fighting for you, Megan. Under our bill, parents like Megan can also activate their children's brand new Trump accounts. And I didn't name it. I did not name that.
I did not name it.
Nobody believes me, but I did not name it. It was named by a very tall man sitting right there in the 3rd row. Nice man, a good man.
Oh, man.
Tax-free investment accounts for every American child. This is something that's so special and has taken off and gone through the roof. Millions will be pre-funded courtesy of the U.S. Treasury and private individuals like Michael and Susan Dell, who have donated $6.25 billion to fund the Trump accounts for 25 million American children. They're great people.
Look for them some kids.
When I asked Michael Dell, how do you make all that money? He said, well, I just sat on my dorm in school and I made computers and I'd sell them to people. And I just kept selling and selling and selling. And pretty amazing story. That's called the American dream. He sold a lot of computers, a lot of those laptops. So I congratulate him on that, but I really thank him and Susan, as well as others like Brad Gerstner, a very tremendous guy. He was behind it right from the beginning. Brad Gerstner. Thank you, Brad. So with modest additional contributions, these young people's accounts could grow to over $100,000 or more by the time they turn 18. Think of it. How much money is that for somebody that started with nothing? Over 100,000, could be much more than that. To make this investment in our children's future, go to TrumpAccounts.gov. TrumpAccounts.gov. And a lot of people are doing it. It's setting every record in the book. It's popular. They knew what it was going to take. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of the people that got it started. And now it's just taken off. One of the primary reasons for our country's stunning economic turnaround, the biggest in history, where the Dow Jones broke 50,000 4 years ahead of schedule, and the S&P hit 7,000, where it wasn't supposed to do it for many years, were tariffs. I used these tariffs, took in hundreds of millions of dollars to make great deals for our country, both economically and on a national security basis. Everything was working well. Countries that were ripping us off for decades are now paying us hundreds of billions of dollars. They were ripping us so badly, you all know that. Everybody knows it. Even the Democrats know it. They just don't want to say it. And yet these countries are now happy, and so are we. We made deals. The deals are all done. And they're happy. They're not making money like they used to, but we're making a lot of money. There was no inflation, tremendous growth, and the big story was how Donald Trump called the economy correctly and 22 Nobel Prize winners in economics didn't. They got it totally wrong. They got it really wrong. And then just 4 days ago, an unfortunate ruling from the United States Supreme Court. It just came down. It came down.
Uh-oh.
Very unfortunate ruling.
Okay.
But the good news is that almost all countries and corporations want to keep the deal that they already made, right, Scott? Knowing that the legal power that I, as president, have to make a new deal could be far worse for them, and therefore they will continue to work along the same successful path that we had negotiated before the Supreme Court's unfortunate involvement. So despite the disappointing ruling, these powerful, country-saving, it's saving our country, the kind of money we're taking in, peace-protecting. Many of the wars I settled was because of the threat of tariffs. I wouldn't have been able to settle them without. Will remain in place under fully approved and tested alternative legal statutes. And they have been tested for a long time. They're a little more complex, but they're actually probably better, leading to a solution that will be even stronger than before. Congressional action will not be necessary. It's already time-tested and approved. And as time goes by, I believe the tariffs paid for by foreign countries will, like in the past, substantially replace the modern-day system of income tax, taking a great financial burden off the people that I love.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Right? Moving forward, factories, jobs, investment, and trillions of dollars will continue pouring into the United States of America because we finally have a president who puts America first. I put America first. I love America. For decades before I came along, we had the exact opposite. From trade to healthcare, from energy to immigration, everything was stolen and rigged in order to drain the wealth out of the productive, hardworking people who make our country great, who make our country run. Under Biden and his corrupt partners in Congress and beyond, it reached a breaking point with the Green New Scam, open borders for everyone. They poured in by the millions and millions from prisons, from mental institutions. They were murderers, 11,888 murders. They came into our country. You allowed that to happen. And record-setting inflation that cost the typical family $34,000 in just a speck of time. Now the same people in this chamber who voted for those disasters suddenly used the word affordability, a word. They just used it. Somebody gave it to them, knowing full well that they caused and created the increased prices that all of our citizens had to endure. You caused that problem. You caused that problem.
He looked them right in their eyes and told them the truth. Amazing. Hold them accountable.
They knew their statements were a lie. They knew it. They knew their statements were a dirty, rotten lie. Their policies created the high prices. Our policies are rapidly ending them. We are doing really well. Those prices are plummeting downward.
She looks upset.
The price
But there's
of
good
eggs
news.
is down 60%. Madam Secretary, thank you. The cost of chicken, butter, fruit, hotels, automobiles, rent is lower today than when I took office by a lot. And even beef, which was very high, is starting to come down significantly. Just hold on a little while. We're getting it down. And soon you will see numbers that few people would think were possible to achieve just a short time ago. Nobody can believe when they see the kind of numbers, and especially energy, when they see energy going down to numbers like that, they cannot believe it. It's like another big tax cut. I'm also confronting one of the biggest ripoffs of our times, the crushing cost of health care caused by you. Since the passage of the Unaffordable Care Act, sometimes referred to as Obamacare, big insurance companies have gotten rich. It was meant for the insurance companies, not for the people. With our government giving them hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars a year as their stock prices soared 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, and even 1,700%, like nothing else. That's why I introduced the great health care plan. I want to stop all payments to big insurance companies and instead give that money directly to the people so they can buy their own health care, which will be better health care at a much lower cost.
I second that. I second that. Beautiful.
In addition, my plan requires maximum price transparency. That's a big deal. Sounds so simple, so big. And I did that in my first term, and the Democrats immediately terminated it with full knowledge that they were doing a very bad thing for the people. Costs were going to go way up, and that's what happened. And now I'm bringing them way down on health care and everything else. I'm also ending the wildly inflated cost of prescription drugs like has never happened before. Other presidents tried to do it, but they never could. They tried. Most didn't try, actually. But they tried. They said they tried. They couldn't do it. They didn't even come close. They were all talk and no action, but I got it done. Under my just enacted most favored nation agreements, Americans who have for decades paid by far the highest prices of any nation anywhere in the world for prescription drugs will now pay the lowest price anywhere in the world for drugs. Lowest price. So in my first year of the second term, should be my third term, but strange things happen. I took prescription drugs, a very big part of healthcare, from the highest price in the entire world.
They're going to try to spend that tomorrow, guaranteed.
The lowest. That's a big achievement. The result is price differences of 300, 400, 500, 600% and more, all available right now at a new website called TrumpRx.gov. And I didn't name that one either, by the way.
Oh, yes.
And here tonight is the very first customer ever to get that big discount, and it is big. Catherine Rayner. For 5 years, she and her husband have struggled with infertility, and they turned to IVF. One drug has been costing Catherine $4,000 to purchase, but a few weeks ago, she logged onto the TrumpRx website and got that same drug that cost $4,000, got it for under $500, a reduction of much more, actually, than $3,500. Catherine, we are all praying for you, and you're going to be a great mom. So now I'm calling on Congress to codify my most favored nation program into law. Now, the one thing, I'm not sure it matters because it's going to be very hard for somebody that comes along after me to say, let's raise drug prices by 700 or 800%. But John and Mike, if you don't mind, codify it anyway. They may do it. Codify it anyway. Thank you. Many Americans are also concerned that energy demand from AI data centers could unfairly drive up their electric utility bills. Tonight, I'm pleased to announce that I have negotiated the new rate Taxpayer Protection Pledge. You know what that is?
Wow.
We're telling the major tech companies that they have the obligation to provide for their own power needs. They can build their own power plants as part of their factory so that no one's prices will go up. And in many cases, prices of electricity will go down for the community, and very substantially down. This is a unique strategy never used in this country before. We have an old grid. It could never handle the kind of numbers, the amount of electricity that's needed. So I'm telling them they can build their own plant. They're going to produce their own electricity. It will ensure the company's ability to get electricity while at the same time lowering prices of electricity for you, and could be very substantial for all of you cities and towns. You're going to see some good things happen over the next number of years. Another pillar of the American dream that has been under attack is home ownership. With us tonight is Rachel Wiggins, a mom of two from Houston. She placed bids on 20 homes and lost all of those bids to gigantic investment firms that bypassed inspection, paid all cash, and turned those houses into rentals, stealing away her American dream. She was devastated. Stories like this are why last month I signed executive order to ban large Wall Street investment firms from buying up in the thousands single-family homes.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Amazing. Beautiful. Beautiful.
And now I'm asking Congress to make that ban permanent, because homes for people, really, that's what we want. We want homes for people, not for corporations.
That's right.
Corporations are doing just fine. Rachel, thank you very much. Good luck with your home. You'll get one soon. We're also working to make it easier for Americans to save for retirement. And under this administration, we will always protect Social Security and Medicare. They are not protecting it for our seniors. We will always protect Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid.
That's right.
Since I took office, the typical 401k balance is up by at least $30,000. That's a lot of money. We have millions and millions of people, because the stock market has done so well, setting all those records. Your 401ks are way up. Yet half of all of working Americans still do not have access to a retirement plan with matching contributions from an employer. To remedy this gross disparity, I'm announcing that next year my administration will give these often forgotten American workers, great people, the people that built our country, access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year.
Amen.
As we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market, let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information.
All right. Okay. We got a standing ovation from Elizabeth Warren. Oh, this is historic. Oh, wow. Okay.
They stood up.
They did.
For that. I can't believe it.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she's here? Doubt it. Pass the Stop Insider Trading Act without delay.
Partisanship going on. Beautiful.
I wasn't sure if anybody even on this side was going to applaud for that. I'm very impressed. Thank you. I'm very impressed.
Beautiful.
But when it comes to the corruption that is plundering, it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning example than Minnesota, where members of the Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the American taxpayer. We have all the information. And in actuality, the number is much higher than that. And California, Massachusetts, Maine, and many other states are even worse. This is the kind of corruption that shreds the fabric of a nation, and we are working on it like you wouldn't believe.
Amen.
So tonight, although started 4 months ago, I am officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice President J.D. Vance.
Oh, you guys are in trouble. You guys are in trouble. Jerry D.
We'll get it done. And if we're able to find enough of that fraud, we will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly. That's the kind of money you're talking about. We'll balance our budget. The Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota remind us that there are large parts of the world where bribery, corruption, and lawlessness are the norm, not the exception. Importing these cultures through unrestricted immigration and open borders brings those problems right here to the USA, and it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime.
Mm-hmm.
We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing games.
All right.
Delilah.
Let's go.
Delilah Coleman was only 5 years old in June 2024 when a 18-wheel tractor trailer plowed into her stopped car traveling at 60 miles an hour or more. The driver was an illegal alien let in by Joe Biden and given a commercial driver's license by open borders politicians in California. Doctors said Delilah would never be able to walk or talk, have a good life. She wouldn't even be able to eat again. But against all odds, she is now in the first grade learning to walk. And she's here this evening with her dad, Marcus, a fantastic man. Delilah, please, you are a great inspiration. Please stand up. Thank you, Delilah. Many, if not most, illegal aliens do not speak English and cannot read even the most basic road signs as to direction, speed, danger, or location. That's why tonight I'm calling on Congress to pass what we will call the Delilah Law, barring any state from granting commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens. And yesterday, as you probably saw at the White House, I hosted a ceremony with Americans who lost their treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration. People came into our country, how we allowed this to happen with our open borders. These are the angel moms and families that for decades our government betrayed and our media totally ignored. It was terrible. Hard to believe, actually. In 2023, a 16-year-old high school cheerleader named Elizabeth Medina was supposed to perform in her town's Christmas parade, but she never arrived. Her mother, Jacqueline, went home to look for her, and she found her lying dead in a bathtub, bleeding profusely after being stabbed 25 times.
Wow.
Elizabeth's killer was a previously arrested illegal alien who had broken in and brutally extinguished the brightest light in her family's life, violently and viciously. Her heartbroken mother is in the gallery to remind everyone in this chamber exactly why we are deporting illegal alien criminals to our country at record numbers, and we're getting them the hell out of here fast. We don't want them. Thank you very much, Jacqueline. Thank you. We can never forget that many in this room not only allowed the border invasion to happen before I got involved, but indeed they would do it all over again if they ever had the chance. If they ever got elected, they would open up those borders to some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world. The only thing standing between Americans and a wide open President Donald J. Trump and our great Republican patriots in Congress. Thank you. As we speak, Democrats in this chamber have cut off all funding for the Department of Homeland Security. It's all cut
Talk
off.
about it.
It's all cut off. They have instituted another Democrat shutdown, the first one costing us 2 points on GDP. 2 points we lost on GDP, which probably made them quite happy, actually. Now they have closed the agency responsible for protecting Americans from terrorists and murderers. Tonight I'm demanding the full and immediate restoration of all funding for the border security, homeland security of the United States, and also for helping people clean up their snow. We have no money because of the Democrats, and it would be nice. We'd love to give you a hand at cleaning it up, but you gave no money. Nobody's getting paid. It's a shame. So you have to think about it. We have, in case you didn't know, a pretty large snowstorm out there. One of the great things about the State of the Union is how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what their representatives really believe. So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Amen. Let's go. Beautiful. I second that. Most definitely. A lot of support.
Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up.
I'm trying to tell
You
you.
should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens.
There they go.
In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over
They need
our
to arrest her
country.
now while they
They're
can.
blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Wow. Look at their behavior. Amazing. She's just mad because she's going to jail for the fraud in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Yes. Hey.
And perhaps most importantly, I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
To stop illegal aliens and others who are
They are going to be mad at this in the morning.
unpermitted persons from voting in our sacred American elections. The cheating is rampant in our elections.
True.
It's rampant.
Amen.
It's very simple. All voters must show voter ID.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah.
All voters must show proof of citizenship
Let's go.
in order to vote.
It's common sense. It's common sense.
And no more crooked mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. None.
Amen.
And this should be an easy one. And by the way, it's polling at 89%, including Democrats. 89%. And even the new communist mayor of New York City, I think he's a nice guy, actually. Speak to him a lot. Bad policy, but nice guy. Just said they want people to shovel snow. They got hit hard.
That's outrageous.
Wants them to shovel snow, but if you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID and a Social Security card. Yet they don't want identification for the greatest privilege of them all, voting in America.
Oh, wow.
No good. Both Republicans and Democrats overwhelmingly agree on the policy that we just enunciated.
So you have to show your ID to shovel snow, but you don't have to show your ID to vote? For the President of the United States. Roll it.
And Congress should unite and enact this common sense, country-saving legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens.
Amen.
And the reason they don't want to do it, why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason. They make up all excuses. They say it's racist. They come up with things. You almost say, what imagination they have. They want to cheat. They have cheated. And their policy is so bad that the only way they can get elected is to cheat. And we're going to stop it. We have to stop it, John. And here is one more opportunity to show common sense in government. In the gallery tonight are Sage Blair and her mother, Michelle.
Uh-oh.
In 2021, Sage was 14 when school officials in Virginia sought to socially transition her to a new gender, treating her as a boy and hiding it from her parents. Hard to believe, isn't it? Before long, a confused Sage ran away from home after she was found in a horrific situation in Maryland. A left-wing judge refused to return Sage to her parents because they did not immediately state that their daughter was their son. Sage was thrown into an all-boys state home and suffered terribly for a long time. But today, all of that is behind them because Sage is a proud and wonderful young woman with a full ride scholarship to Liberty University. Sage and Michelle, please stand up.
I think this means pocket. She did that. Okay. Amen, 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 amen. Amen. God is good.
And thank you for your great bravery. And who can believe that we're even speaking about things like this? 15 years ago, if somebody was up here and said that, they'd say, what's wrong with him? But now we have to say it because it's going on all over numerous states without even telling the parents. But surely we can all agree no state can be allowed to rip children from their parents' arms and transition them to a new gender against the parents' will. Who would believe that we're even talking about this? We must ban it, and we must ban it immediately.
Amen.
Look, nobody stands up. These people are crazy. I'm telling you, they're crazy.
What? Oh. That's my president.
Boy, oh boy.
That's my president.
We're lucky we have a country. With people like this, Democrats are destroying our country, but we've stopped it just in the nick of time.
Oh, let's go. Beautiful, 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 beautiful.
No one cares more about protecting America's youth than our wonderful First Lady. Now a movie star. She's a movie star. Can you believe
That's right. Give it up.
Who would have believed that? Over the past year, she has had an incredible impact championing AI legislation, advancing a landmark executive order on foster care, and helping secure $30 million to launch the Melania Trump Foster Youth to Independence Initiative. It's a tremendous, really a tremendous thing that happened and had a lot of bipartisan support. She gets much better bipartisan support than I do. I get none. She gets a lot. Someday you're going to have to tell me how you did that. And students and educators in every state have joined the First Lady's efforts in the presidential AI challenge, keeping America's next generation positioned to succeed and strongly succeed in the future. Tonight, we welcome two young people whose lives reflect the First Lady's impact, Sierra Burns and Everest Nevermont. Thank you both, and Melania, thank you. I know how hard you worked on it. Thank you very much.
Good job. Good job.
I'm very proud to say that during my time in office, both the first 4 years and in particular this last year, there has been a tremendous renewal in religion, faith, Christianity, and belief in God.
Amen.
Tremendous renewal.
We needed it. Bring back Christianity, at least. Amen.
This is especially true among young people, and a big part of that had to do with my great friend, Charlie Kirk, a great guy.
Charlie
Great
Kirk.
guy.
There's Erica right there. And, what's
So
the
last year, Charlie was violently murdered by an assassin and martyred, really martyred for his beliefs. His wonderful wife, Erica, is with us tonight. Erica, please stand. Thank you, Erica. Been through a lot. In Charlie's memory, we must all come together to reaffirm that America is one nation under God, and we must totally reject political violence of any kind.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
We love religion, And we love bringing it back.
That's right.
And it's coming back at levels that nobody actually thought possible. It's really a beautiful thing to see. Above all, unleashing America's promise requires keeping our communities safe. We have made incredible strides, yet dangerous repeat offenders continue to be released by pro-crime Democrat politicians again and again. We are honored to be joined tonight by a woman who's been through hell, Anya Zarutska. In 2022, she and her beautiful daughter, so beautiful, what a beautiful young woman, Irina, fled war-torn Ukraine to live with relatives near Charlotte, North Carolina. And by the way, what's going on with Charlotte? Last summer, 23-year-old Irina was riding home on the train when a deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body. No one will ever forget. There were people on that train. No one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she looked up at her attacker in the last seconds of her life. She died instantly. She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal, set free to kill in America, came in through open borders. Mrs. Zarutska, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina. How do you not stand? How do you not stand? I'm asking this Congress to pass tough legislation to ensure that violent and dangerous repeat offenders are put behind bars, and importantly, that they stay there.
How did they not stand for that? They're inhumane.
Starting last summer, I deployed our National Guard and federal law enforcement to restore law and order to our most dangerous cities, including Memphis, Tennessee, big success, New Orleans, Louisiana, big success, and our nation's capital itself, Washington, D.C., where we have almost no crime anymore in Washington, D.C. How did that happen? In fact, crime in Washington is now at the lowest level ever recorded, and murders in D.C. this January were down close to 100% from a year ago. They don't like to hear that. One of the sick people, one of the brave service members who helped achieve this stunning turnaround was 20-year-old West Virginia Army National Guard Specialist Sarah Beckstrom. After a 4-month deployment, she voluntarily extended her service, and her rank was going to be lifted. She was doing so well. They were so proud of her. But the very next day, she was on patrol near the White House when she was ambushed and shot in the head by a terrorist monster from Afghanistan. Shouldn't have been in our country. And all because she wore the uniform of our nation, she was shot. He traveled here because he didn't like people wearing our uniform. He was sick and deranged, shouldn't have been in our country. Sarah Beckstrom died in order to defend our capital, and we are honored to be joined by her wonderful parents, Gary and Eva Lee. Your daughter was a true American patriot, and she will be greatly missed. She was a great person. I saw reports on her that never seen anything like her. So sorry. Thank you very much. She's a great young lady. I saw reports that were like, perfect. She was perfect. Serving alongside Sarah that day was Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf. The terrorist shot Andrew in the head, and no one thought he could possibly make it. The two of them, Sarah and Andrew, both shot violently in the head. Neither was expected to make it. They weren't even given a chance, except his wonderful mother, named Melody, who I spoke to the same night, and she was so positive. The doctors thought that Andrew was gone, but his mother said, no, no, Mr. President, Andrew will be fine. He's going to make it. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, he was given almost no chance. She said, I have no doubt, sir, he's going to be okay. This was a conversation that I had with her that night, with her son laying helplessly in bed, blood all over. Everybody is praying, she said, sir, he will be okay. The doctors didn't understand what she was saying, and after looking at the results of the damage done, neither did I. She was so strong and conclusive that even Andrew's great father felt she didn't really understand the gravity of the situation. But she turned out to be right. Right, Melody? She turned out to be right. Amazing, actually. I said, where does this woman come from? She's the most positive person I've ever met. With God's help, Andrew has battled back from the edge of death, and we're talking about the edge of death, on his way to a miraculous recovery. He's got a little work to do, but he's doing great. Nice to see you. He's a good-looking guy. Nice to see you. Thanks, Andrew. Thank you very much. So, Andrew, while you're up, now I'm going to ask a highly respected General James Seward to present Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf and the great family of Sarah Beckstrom with the award created by our late, great President George Washington himself. It's called the Purple Heart. We love you all. Love you. We're proudly restoring safety for Americans at home, and we are also restoring security for Americans abroad. Our country has never been stronger. My first 10 months, I ended 8 wars, including Cambodia. Isn't it funny? Sick people. Cambodia and Thailand.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Pakistan and India. Would have been a nuclear war. 35 million people, said the Prime Minister of Pakistan, would have died if it were not for my involvement. Kosovo and Serbia, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia, Armenia and Azerbaijan, the Congo and Rwanda, and of course the war in Gaza, which proceeds at a very low level. It's just about there. And I want to thank Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner for your help. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Jared. And I also want to thank the man they report to, Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Thank you, Marco.
That's right. Okay.
People like you. You know, Marco got 100% of the votes when he was in confirmation. I think our next one was about 54%. And some of the Democrats are now saying, I can't believe we approved that guy. And he said it's an honor that they feel that way, right, Marco? You have done a great job, great Secretary of State. I think he'll go down as the best ever.
Amen. I agree.
Under the ceasefire I negotiated, every single hostage, both living and dead, has been returned home. Can you believe that? Nobody thought it was possible. Nobody thought that was possible. Both living and dead, and those parents who had a dead son, their boy, they'd always tell me their boy, they wanted him as much as though he were living. It was an amazing period of time, and they came back, and when we got all of the living hostages back, and many, many before them, but I always said those last 20 are going to be very tough, but we got many, many more, hundreds. But I said those last 20 are going to be tough. We got them back, but we only got back 14 or 15 of the dead, of the 28. And believe it or not, Hamas worked along with Israel, and they dug and they dug and they dug. It's a tough thing to do, going through bodies all over, passing up 100 bodies sometimes for each one that they found. Tough job. And they finally got it back to 27. And then Steve and Jared, they got it back to 28. They found all 28. Nobody thought that was possible, but we did it. And I remember the family of the 28th. They were so grieved, but they were so happy as it's possible to be. They had their boy back. The mother said, "Sir, we have our boy back." What a period of time that was, but we got them all back. So thank you both very much. Great job. And we're working very hard to end the 9th war, the killing and slaughter between Russia and Ukraine, where 25,000 soldiers are dying each and every month. Think of that, 25,000 soldiers are dying a month. A war which would have never happened if I were president, would have never happened. As president, I will make peace wherever I can, but I will never hesitate to confront threats to America wherever we must. That's why in a breakthrough operation last June, the United States military obliterated Iran's nuclear weapons program with an attack on Iranian soil known as Operation Midnight Hammer.
That's right.
For decades, it had been the policy of the United States never to allow Iran to obtain a nuclear weapon. Many decades. Since they seized control of that proud nation 47 years ago, the regime and its murderous proxies have spread nothing but terrorism and death and hate. They've killed and maimed thousands of American service members and hundreds of thousands and even millions of people with what's called roadside bombs. They were the kings of the roadside bomb. And we took out Soleimani. I did that during my first term. Had a huge impact. He was the father of the roadside bomb. And just over the last couple of months with the protests, they've killed at least, it looks like 32,000 protests, 32,000 protesters in their own country. They shot them and hung them. We stopped them from hanging a lot of them with the threat of serious violence. But this is some terrible people. They've already developed missiles that can threaten Europe and our bases overseas, and they're working to build missiles that will soon reach the United States of America. After Midnight Hammer, they were warned to make no future attempts to rebuild their weapons program, and in particular, nuclear weapons. Yet they continue, starting it all over. We wiped it out, and they want to start all over again, and are at this moment again pursuing their sinister ambitions. We are in negotiations with them. They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon. My preference. My preference is to solve this problem through diplomacy. But one thing is certain, I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen. And no nation should ever doubt America's resolve. We have the most powerful military on earth. I rebuilt the military in my first term. We're going to continue to do so. Also, we just approved a $1 trillion budget. We have no choice. We have to be strong, because hopefully we will seldom have to use this great power that we built together. It's really called peace through strength, and it's been very, very effective. So thanks to Republicans in Congress, we're investing that record number of dollars, have no choice, in the United States Armed Forces. Also creating a lot of jobs, but we're not even doing it for that reason. Because as I said, we have more jobs, more people working today than ever before in the history of our country. And NATO countries are friends and allies. They are. They're our friends and they're our allies. Have just agreed, at my very strong request, to pay 5% of GDP for military defense rather than the 2%, which they weren't paying. We were paying for almost all of NATO. Now they're paying 5 as opposed to not paying 3. And getting that 5% was something which everyone said would never be done, could not happen. We got it really easily with one meeting. And big difference between 2% that's not paid. We were paying the freight of many of them. Very few were paid up. Now 5%, then they're paid. And everything we send over to Ukraine is sent through NATO, and they pay us in full. They pay us totally in full. Every branch of our armed forces is setting records for recruitment. This is so exciting. And every service member recently. And every service member recently received a warrior dividend of $1,776. You know, they put it on my desk. We got the money from tariffs and other things, a lot of money. We have much more money than people understand. Have to rebuild that program a little bit, but it won't take long. But we got the money, and it was $1,775, and they wanted my approval. And I said, what's the number? $1,775. I said, wait a minute. For $1 more, we can have $1,776. It's going to... I said, we're going to figure that. I never asked anybody if we could afford it. $1 more. I said, $1,776. And I said, that's good. And I'll tell you what, our military, that was 4 months ago, our military, I never see a person in the military that doesn't thank me for it. So we're honored to do it. They deserve it. And we call it 1776. It was great. And we love our military. We love our law enforcement. We love our firemen. You know, the firemen don't get mentioned enough. We love our firemen. We're also... We're also restoring American security and dominance in the Western Hemisphere, acting to secure our national interests and defend our country from violence, drugs, terrorism, and foreign interference. For years, large swaths of territory in our region, including large parts of Mexico, really large parts of Mexico, have been controlled by murderous drug cartels. That's why I designated these cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, and I declared illicit fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. And with our new military campaign, we have stopped record amounts of drugs coming into our country and virtually stopped it completely coming in by water or sea. You probably noticed that. We very seriously damaged their fishing industry also. Nobody wants to go fishing anymore. We've also taken down one of the most sinister cartel kingpins of all. You saw that yesterday. In January, elite American warriors carried out one of the most complex, spectacular feats of military competence and power in world history. No one's seen anything like it. Foreign leaders, I won't tell you who, called me and they said, very impressive, very impressive. They couldn't believe, they all watched, they saw what happened. This is a different fighting force that we had years ago when we fought to tie. You know, it's a great fighting force. I'm so proud of it. Look at Space Force. Space Force is my baby, because we did that. My baby is becoming so important. And America's armed forces overwhelmed all defenses and utterly defeated an enemy, good fighters, to end the reign of outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro and bring him to face American justice. And this was an absolutely colossal victory for the security of the United States, and it also opens up a bright new beginning for the people of Venezuela. We're working closely with the new president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, to unleash extraordinary economic gains for both of our countries and to bring new hope to those who have suffered so terribly. They really did suffer. With us tonight is Alejandro Gonzalez. She grew up in a tight-knit Venezuelan family and was especially close to her beloved uncle Enrique. But after Enrique ran for office and opposed Maduro, he was kidnapped by Maduro's security forces and thrown into the regime's really infamous prison in Caracas. Alejandro feared she would never see her uncle again. She feared for her own life also. But since the raid, we have worked with the new leadership, and they have ordered the closure of that vile prison and released hundreds of political prisoners already, with more to come. Alejandro, I'm pleased to inform you that not only has your uncle been released, but he is here tonight. We brought him over to celebrate his freedom with you in person. Enrique, please come down.
Okay. Enrique. All right. If he's legal, he's welcome. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Enrique. Have a good time. Nice to have you back, Enrique. There were many heroes on that January raid to capture Maduro. Really great heroes. It was very dangerous. They knew we were coming. They were all set. But the deeds of one warrior that night will live forever in the eternal chronicles of military valor. Chief Warrant Officer 5, Eric Slover, planned the mission and was the flight lead in the cockpit of the first helicopter, a big, beautiful, powerful helicopter. It was a massive Chinook carrying, as you can imagine, many, many American warfighters. Wearing the dog tags his wife Amy had blessed with holy water before he left. She knew it was going to be a rough one. Eric steered the Chinook under the cover of night and descended swiftly upon Maduro's heavily protected military fortress. This was a major military installation, protected by thousands of soldiers and guarded by Russian and Chinese military technology. How did that work out? Not too good. While preparing to land, enemy machine guns fired from every angle, and Eric was hit very badly in the leg and hip, one bullet after another. He absorbed 4 agonizing shots, shredding his leg into numerous pieces. And yet, despite the fact that the use of his legs was vital to successful helicopter flight, legs are the most important part of flying a helicopter, to deliver the many commandos who would capture and detain Maduro was the only thing Eric was thinking about. Then, even as he was gushing blood, which was flowing back down the aisle, helicopter lands at a steep angle. The machine gun stood right in front of him. They were right in front of him, 2 machine gunners who escaped the wrath of the previous planes. Eric maneuvered his helicopter with all of those lives and souls to face the enemy and let his gunners eliminate the threat. Turned the helicopter around so the gunners could take care of business, saving the lives of his fellow warriors from what could have been a catastrophic crash deep in enemy territory. Only after safely landing the helicopter with all the warriors aboard in the exact right spot, which was vital to the mission. We probably would have had to maybe cancel the mission if that didn't happen. Eric told his co-pilot, also wounded, but not as gravely, to take over. I'm about ready to pass out. The success of the entire mission and the lives of his fellow warriors hinge on Eric's ability to take the searing pain. It was unbelievable what's happened to his legs of the bullets and keep on flying and landing, and people knew what was happening. Everybody in the back of the helicopter knew because they saw the blood pouring down the aisle. Chief Warrant Officer Slover is still recovering from his serious wounds, but I'm thrilled to say that he is here tonight with his wife Amy, Eric, and Amy, come on in. So we have a surprise for Eric and Amy. In recognition of Eric's actions above and beyond the call of duty, I would now like to ask General Jonathan Braga to present Chief Warrant Officer Slover with our nation's highest military award, the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Amazing. You deserve it.
Well, thank you very much, Eric and Amy. Great to get to know you. I met with them and with a lot of their fellow warriors at Fort Bragg recently. You notice the name Fort Bragg, we have it back, we brought it back. We won the First World War with it, the Second World War with it, and then they decided to change the name. So we changed it back. Everybody wanted to change back too. And 10 of Eric's fellow warriors from that incredible night of victory will also be receiving medals at a private ceremony that will soon be held at the White House, and Eric will be there. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. That's a big one. Tonight we've celebrated many truly extraordinary American patriots, but there is one last living legend to honor before we go. He is one more heroic American aviator, Navy fighter pilot. Royce Williams served in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, flying more than 220 missions. In the skies over Korea in 1952, Royce was in the dogfight of a lifetime, legendary dogfight. Flying through blizzard conditions, his squadron was ambushed by 7 Soviet fighter planes. It was his first aerial combat of the war, and despite being massively outnumbered and outgunned, Royce led the takedown of 4 enemy jets and almost destroyed the others, vanquishing his adversaries while taking 263 bullets to his own plane and being seriously hurt. His story was secret for over 50 years. He didn't even want to tell his wife, but the legend grew and grew. But tonight, at 100 years old, this brave Navy captain is finally getting the recognition he deserves. He was a legend long before this evening. Royce, please stand up, and I will ask the First Lady of the United States to present Captain Royce Williams with his Congressional Medal of Honor. Thank you, Royce, and thank you, Eric. I've always wanted the Congressional Medal of Honor, but I was informed I'm not allowed to give it to myself, and I wouldn't know why I'd be taking it. But if they ever open up that law, I will be there with you someday. But you know, that's our highest honor, Congressional Medal of Honor, and that's a big thing, and it's an honor to be in the same room with you. Thank you both very much, Eric. Thank you. Thank you. 250 years is a long time in the life of a nation, but in another sense, it's really a mere moment in the eye of history. Two of the gentlemen we met in the gallery this evening took their first breaths 1 century ago, 100 years before that, on July 4th, 1826, the author of the Declaration of Independence, brilliant, Thomas Jefferson, drew his last breath. Just a single long human lifespan separates the giants who declared and won our independence from the heroes who stand among us tonight. Everything our nation has done, everything we have achieved, has been the work of those few great lifetimes. In those brief chapters, Americans built this nation from 13 humble colonies into the pinnacle of human civilization and human freedom, the strongest, wealthiest, most powerful, most successful nation in all of history. Americans ventured out across the daunting and dangerous continent. We carved paths through an unforgiving wilderness, settled a boundless frontier, and tamed the beautiful but very, very dangerous Wild West. From empty marshes and wide open plains, we raised up the world's greatest cities. Together, we mastered the world's mightiest industries and shattered history's monstrous tyrannies. And we liberated millions from the chains of fascism, communism, oppression, and terror. Americans lifted humanity into the skies on the wings of aluminum and steel. And then we launched mankind into the stars on rockets powered by sheer American will and unyielding American pride. We wired the globe with our ingenuity. We captivated the planet with American culture. And now we are pioneering the next great American breakthroughs that will change the entire world. All of this and so much more is the enduring legacy, unmatched glory of the hardworking patriots who built and defended this country and who still carry the hopes and freedoms on all of humanity's backs. For years they were forgotten, betrayed, and cast aside, but that great betrayal is over and they will never be forgotten again, because when the world needs courage, daring, vision, and inspiration, it is still turning to America. And when God needs a nation to work his miracles, he knows exactly who to ask. There is no challenge Americans cannot overcome, no frontier too vast for us to conquer, no dream too bold for us to chase, no horizon too distant for us to claim. For our destiny is written by the hand of providence, and these first 250 years were just the beginning. From the rugged border towns of Texas to the heartland villages of Michigan, from the sun-kissed shores of Florida to the endless fields of the Dakotas, and from the historic streets of Philadelphia to right here in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., the golden age of America is upon us. The revolution that began in 1776 has not ended. It still continues because the flame of liberty and independence still burns in the heart of every American patriot. And our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more glorious than ever before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
All right. That was the State of the Union. Thank you guys so much for watching. And tonight we actually witnessed history, and a lot of history was made tonight. He talked about a lot of things, and tomorrow you're not going to hear the same thing that we heard tonight. They're going to try to spin it on all of the media news networks. The real question is, what Donald Trump talked about tonight, is that going to be put into action? Are they going to let that go through in Congress? You see how reluctant they were to even stand up tonight. That's the reality. If you got value from this content, please hit the like, subscribe, and share button. Who loved this tonight? Please hit the like button. I loved it. It was amazing. I can't believe he had one bipartisan moment. That was really exciting. I really appreciate you guys tonight for watching, for staying with me for 3 whole entire hours. My goodness, that was a long time. 3 hours is a very, very long time. But like I said, I appreciate you guys once again for watching the Jay Ravato Show. Please hit the like, subscribe, and share button. There's a link down below where you can support real analysis on the Jay Ravato Show. See you tomorrow, and we'll break it all down. Thank you for watching. I should put on some outro music. Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, we don't have any outro music.